Nice. Oh, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, guys. Tell you what. All right. I'm gonna make something longer for a different day, that I actually write down. I want to be able to do a really tight few minutes of talking about what's happening right now. I have a rhetorical lane that's very effective, that I can use for this. But I need to get it written down and formulated better before I actually say it. Now, Trump did call for more violence, okay? Trump did call for more violence multiple times. They want violence in America. They are begging for it. Please drop a like on the stream. Help me out in the algorithm. I will take conversations about this for now. And if, you know, for my phone calls, if anything gets stupid or crazy, then, you know, we'll deal with that and not do phone calls at that point. What we know so far about this kid, he is 22 years old, from a very Republican conservative family, very Christian. His father seems like a 3%er, which means he's very pro Second Amendment to the point of militias, upending the government if necessary. So he has a more like far right upbringing. Not to say his parents messed up. It's not their fault he did this terrible crime. But just knowing where the culture came from. Not to say his parents they want to say up, it's not their fault. I just messed my own thing up, playing my audio on here. What part did I interrupt myself? Crap. That sucks. Yeah, but it's to cover that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. That's annoying. That's called annoying. Yeah, so it doesn't mean his parents are the reason this happened. He decided to do a terrible crime. He was radicalized on the internet, but it does show the culture he came from. Now, they want to say he became Antifa by going to college. They fell back to that. Now, he went to college for 1 semester and dropped out for engineering. He's been in a apprenticeship program for 3 years. All right, for 3 years in a technical school. Unless if you think technical schools and apprenticeships are far right, or actually no far left, then you know, I don't know what that would. You know, I don't know what kind of far left pipeline that would be. But yeah, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Why don't you go and get a date? Nice, beautiful. Yeah, the phone lines are open. I'm a fool.
You're such a fucking goddamn asshole, motherfucker! You fucking lie, you project, you're full of fucking shit. Democrats killed those Democrats in Wisconsin, you fucking...
It was Minnesota.
Fucking asshole. You fucking stupid. You're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking beta male. You shouldn't be doing political analyst in a fucking goddamn first place. You stupid motherfucker.
True. So that's about Minnesota. Democrats got murdered in Minnesota, assassinated a few months ago. MAGA did not care. Trump laughed at it. Multiple Republican senators made fun of it, made jokes about it. These Democratic lawmakers got assassinated. No one gave a shit whatsoever. Now for their favorite podcaster and organizer, they're lowering flags in America and giving him like a military burial. Which, you know, you can give respect to the situation. It's a terrible thing that happened. But treating him like he was military or anything like that, or a martyr, for a certain cause is very damaging and not good. Now, this person right here shows the right wing in America wants peace and conversation. Thank you so much for your input to this conversation. I think that your voicemail really shows that you are the ones de-escalating, and you are the ones who want a better republic and a better constitutional system in America, where we have good debates and a peaceful political process with a transfer of power and different policies based on which representatives we elect to represent us. Okay, and I really appreciate people like you for being willing to calm down and have a good conversation. Listen to him, like he's so nice.
You're such a fucking goddamn asshole, motherfucker.
Now, when he says, I can't even do it, I'm not doing it, but the asshole, like that part right there, it's showing passion, okay?
You fucking lie, you project.
Oh yeah, they say Democrats did the assassination because they want to lie about it, basically. The person was on like a state government board or something, or for small businesses, which, if you know anything about government anywhere, it was something symbolic for business owners. Tim Walz was not good friends with him. He had a kill list, including Tim Walz and other Democratic politicians. He was a big Trump supporter, big MAGA guy in Minnesota who assassinated Democrats. And again, MAGA does not give a shit at all, whatsoever. And today, Trump said, left-wing violence is not okay. Right-wing violence is okay. Now, show me where the left-wing violence was, please. Point out to the actual details. Point me out to where the what are you referring to, brother? Please drop a like, repost this video, follow my page, guys. Let's see what we get. I have 14 viewers on TikTok. That's rare. I usually don't have any TikTok viewers. Are you for or against Trump? All right, let me find this Trump video really quick.
Hey, I got a question for you. The reason why Donald Trump, a millennial, or whatever the hell that damn fool name is, if you really look at it, if Russia got all the pictures of her naked, that was a whorehouse. She is a prostitute. And my parents taught me you can't take a housewife, a whore, and turn her into a housewife, and Donald Trump to turn around and put the whore in the White House.
You know what, buddy? Nice. Oh no, Hakeem Jeffries. Not Hakeem Jeffries. Oh no, he's not. Okay. Here's a 18-minute clip of this, but Donald Trump went on Fox and Friends, and they told him essentially like, hey, the country is going a little bit crazy. Do you want to turn down the temperature and fix the country? What's your plan? He said, I couldn't care less. All right, Trump said that. Then Trump said, political violence on the right is okay because they need to defend themselves, and violence on the left is never okay. All right, which I agree, violence is not okay. But this shooter was a far-right neo-Nazi type on the internet, very, very radicalized. More of a, yeah, it's a hard thing to explain to people how someone can be more far-right and call like Kirk and Trump centrists, but these people are nihilist. They don't like meaning at all, any meaning. They want to cause violence and civil war. And it's a crazy person, right? It's a crazy person. It's not even political in a sense of Democrats or Republicans. This person did not care about that at all. He wants to see the whole system burn, the terrible person that did this crime. But Trump is now saying, well, I mean, what can you expect? The elections are so fake. And Democrats want to kill us. So therefore, if the elections are fake, we can never lose an election, or we need to kill Democrats. Trump said that today on Fox and Friends. I have a clip here from that show. I'll see if this is the right clip or not. But yeah, let's go.
We're at the 9/11 memorial. We were all watching that. Yeah. JD Vance was supposed to be with you. He went.
By the way, Trump also like mocked Charlie Kirk relentlessly. Like, it's terrible. Charlie Kirk devoted his entire life. Okay, if we see this video right here, look at this. So let me put this up on the screen. Remember, Charlie Kirk devoted his entire life to getting Trump elected and getting Trump power. And they ask Trump how he feels with Kirk passing. And the way he responds is mockery. It's spitting in Charlie Kirk's face. He said, my condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. How are you holding up?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see.
He said, I think very good. He does not give a singular shit, bro. He does not care. He does not care at all. Kirk gave his entire life to supporting Trump, doing everything for his campaign, being like one of the most effective organizers in American history. All right, I disagreed with him, but he had game, bro. Like, he is one of the GOAT organizers for, in my opinion, bad reasons. But his skills on the microphone, his skills organizing were amazing, to be honest. I wish we had someone like him and that effective on the left. He said, look at all the trucks building my new ballroom to dine with my rich friends and donors.
They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. and it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so.
He's talking about how nice. I hate clicking the bad videos.
I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get.
He's talking about his new ballroom. He did not give one word at all about Charlie Kirk in this, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's very crazy. Please drop a like, repost this video, and follow my page, guys. Please drop likes.
Went out
Helps
to
out.
be with Charlie Kirk's family and to get the body back to his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is very nice of you. Any updates on this suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued?
This morning, there were no updates. And also, Fox News got the biggest amount ever paid to a defamation lawsuit lying about shit.
And everything else. But I think...
about the election.
With a high degree of certainty, we have him. In custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started. Remember, they were calling this shooter trans. They were calling them LGBT terrorism. They were calling this shooter Muslim. They were calling the shooter a far leftist. And they said this shooter is why we need a civil war in America and to start targeting Democrats with political violence. And they, in this conversation, begged Trump to denounce the violence. And Trump refuses to. He pretty much encourages it. Started off with a clip that made him look like an ant. That was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start
the
off
dad
with that,
turned him into. The FBI failed with their podcast.
You get lucky
host,
or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President,
and he's in custody.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just... And by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on?
Fantastic job, yeah.
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud.
Here's a good example of how the tone has shifted, by the way. So Nancy Mace, she definitely smells like smoking alcohol. I'm just going to say. She's insane. Yesterday she was saying, bring back the death penalty. She was saying this is an evil, transgender shooter. We got to ban those animals from society, blah, blah, blah. Now we know Charlie Kirk would want us to pray for such an evil. And a lost individual like Tyler Robinson to find Christ, we will all try to do the same. Now it's all about forgiveness. Now that he doesn't fit the demographic categories that she wants to villainize and eliminate in America, now she's going to say, we got to pray for this person, bro. Like the memes. If they're black, brown, if they're a liberal, if they're trans, then it can be, all hell breaks loose. We got to violate the Constitution. We got to put them in camps. We got to do all this shit. If it's a white kid from a Utah conservative family where they had guns their entire life and they, were, again, Christian, they were living the American dream. And this person was radicalized. This guy was radicalized off of the internet and far-right politics with the Groyper, the white nationalist type shit. But now it's the white kid from Utah. How can they villainize that? They're going to try to. Again, they said he is Antifa because he went to college for 1 year. He went to college for 1 year. Or actually, no, 1 semester. He's been at trade school for 3 years now. He's been going to be an electrician, doing an apprenticeship. But yeah, we got to pray for him now, dude. We got to pray for him. We need grace and understanding now.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I said you were going to do well. But yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened. But essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, they said, whoa, it's interesting. We had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to U.S.
This guy is a genius, bro. This guy is a genius. Holy shit, he's so smart. Remember when Trump was talking about healthcare in that debate with Kamala Harris? And Kamala was like, well, we have to expand Medicare to cover at-home costs and decrease more prescription drug prices and talk about expanding Medicaid and blah, blah, blah. All these policy details. Then Trump was like, I have concept of a plan. Remember that, dude? I have concept of a plan, bro. Like, remember that shit? That was crazy. Sorry, I said shit. I don't want to curse anymore. I'm sorry. I apologize. Now, this is the Utah governor, and he makes this entire thing about himself. So, the shooter's from, this is the Utah governor, and the shooter's from Utah. And he here explains how he was praying that the shooter was from someone else, or somewhere else, because he didn't want to believe that one of their own could do a crime like this.
You know, this bad stuff happens. And for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year.
We're so good. We give money to charity. I just feel like it's selfish to think like this. It's selfish. You wanted it to not look like you. You wanted it to not be like you. You wanted it to be someone from a foreign country or whatever. Like, I just don't like this kind of sentiment, bro. You should have been praying for the victims of the kids as well in Colorado in that school shooting. You could have been thinking about something else other than your own, you know, than the way your own state looks. I understand not wanting to, you know, believe that someone close to you, or someone from your area, can do something like this, of course, but I just thought it was an interesting thing to focus on there. Now I'm going to skip ahead to an actual clip of Trump talking on this show, because, and I might put this at the beginning of the video on YouTube, so we can get to the nitty gritty of it. I don't want to wait
what we did in
the entire
DC.
thing. So remember, when this person did this terrible crime, we knew nothing about them. They could have been far left, far right. They could have been a never Trump Republican. They could have been someone who just hated the world, like a Joker type that wants to see the world burn, a nihilist. All right, it could have been anything. And Trump instantly said all liberals in America should be eradicated. All right, basically that was the message, and many Trumpers reiterated that because they want to kind of do that.
We want to look at what we did in D.C. We took D.C., probably the single worst place in the country in terms of crime. There's no crime.
By the way, if this would have happened in a blue state or in a blue city, they'd be sending in the military and the National Guard to this area. But it was a white conservative area, so they're not going to do that. A conservative area in Utah, which is probably a good thing that it turned out to be someone like that. So the government was not going to be discriminatory based on party or race or gender or whatever. Thank goodness it was not a minority group they could target.
It's a crime-free area.
That's not true.
So
yeah, we know
this
that.
is from CNN, Daniel Dale, one of
Decoding
many
Fox
outlets
News.
that fact-checked
Good job.
this. On Monday, which would have been September 1st on this article, in Washington, D.C.
Let's see, for the other one, there's another one about crime as well. We'll see how I do the video then. Where is it at? They begged for him to say violence is bad, and he wouldn't do it. Why can't I find it now? Did I have it up somewhere else? Let's see. Fox and Friends, Trump.
Well,
Trials the following day. That's great. Twitter's such a crappy website, dude.
Marshall, who was fantastic, by the way, and the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister, and brought him to a U.S.
Mehdi Hassan. Bro, you can't... God, dude. Donald Trump Jr. saying you cannot call someone a fascist if you disagree with them. It's a call to violence, and he calls everyone a fascist. It's a party of hypocrites. Yeah, I mean, cool.
Marshall, who was fantastic, and the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject...
How is he explaining this?
Essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way, and the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister, and brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, and the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but you know, I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh?
Thank you.
Always have breaking news, Ainsley.
Right.
Sean's going to be very disappointed that that we're not doing it on his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the
I think
police
so.
officers that got this guy.
They did a great job, everybody, and everybody worked together. Pam Bondi is incredible, by the way. People don't know what a star she is. She's incredible. And it all worked out.
Could I ask you just some clarification? So a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And
yeah, the guy's dad was a sheriff, I think, and a minister.
His good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, "We got to go in." And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change, but the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
He talks so
Did
slow,
the father
bro.
know
Get to
about
the point.
what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
So, Mr. President, there is the death penalty in Utah.
Yes.
And I do know this is going to be a federal case, and there's many of us believe that Charlie was targeted because of his political ideology.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to this guy?
Well, I hope he's going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this. He worked so hard and so well. Everybody liked him. I've been watching. Even the left is having a hard time. They fired this guy Dowd from MSDNC, who's a terrible guy, terrible human being. But they fired him. I hear they're firing other people. And we're talking about radical left. Now, they're a little bit, but radical left networks and cable channels, horrible channels like MS. I always go with DNC because
right now the far right. Actually, no, not the far right. The entire right is the far right now. The entire right wing in America has been doxing liberals for a while. Charlie Kirk had his own website to track professors he didn't like, to dox them and harass them. He had a website for school board members as well. So Charlie Kirk had dossiers of a bunch of liberals he wanted to target and to shut down their freedom of speech by harassing them and sending a bunch of violence their way. And also, it's just kind of crazy, the double standards here, and the way they talk about all of this and getting liberals fired from their job if they criticize Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm 100% for if you are unhinged, if you say something crazy, that makes sense. But there's people getting fired who are saying, for example, I think Charlie Kirk was racist and homophobic, and I don't think we should be lowering the flag to half-mast, when we did not do that for the Democrats who got assassinated in Minnesota, elected officials. And that person got fired. That's an opinion. It's just an opinion. They're not saying anything crazy. They're not calling for violence. They're saying this person, I did not think they were a good person. It's terrible that they were killed, and that should never be acceptable anywhere. It should never be accepted anywhere. But also, you don't care about these other people that were just assassinated by a Trump supporter, a known Trump supporter. You don't know who killed Charlie Kirk at this point when you're saying all this inflammatory rhetoric. And I don't think he's a good person. You can have that opinion in America. We're America. We have freedom of speech. And I saw Republicans wanting to ban people who said this stuff for life from every social media platform, and for life from having a driver's license. The level of censorship and cancel, it's not even canceling right now. They're calling for a full 1984 censorship of people who have differing political opinions. And again, if there's something unhinged and crazy, that's completely... you can make an argument for that, but that's not what they're going for at all.
Somehow affiliated with the Democrat National Committee. So, it's a little statement you make. But MSNBC, but NBC, ABC, CBS, they're all terrible, absolutely terrible and unfair. But even they have been giving it sort of this can't be allowed to happen.
And I just love moment of silence at the Yankee game, moment of silence at the Redskin game, Commanders game last night, because they understand doesn't matter who you voted for. This was a special person. My opinion.
There was no moment of silence for the kids who got shot in Colorado in school. There was no moment of silence for... Trump did not mention those kids. Trump never mentions any school shootings. We just accept it in America. So, my issue is not that people care about Charlie Kirk. My issue is that they don't care about all violence in America. They pick and choose based off who it is. I care about all of it. I care about when Democrats got assassinated. I care about it when Charlie Kirk got assassinated. I cared about it when school children got killed. We care about all of it. I care about all of it. I have complained about all of it publicly. No matter what side it affects. There are no sides when it comes to violence. Any attack like this from anyone is an attack on humanity. and attack on our democratic system of governing. But the right wing in America encourages more violence. They lie about it when it's one of their MAGA supporters who does violence in America. And I don't blame all of them for that. I would never say this person is you. Okay, this person is they. And they killed one of us. Therefore, we're at war, like MAGA does. No Democrat said that when Democrats got assassinated in Minnesota by a known Trump supporter. The guy's roommate said he'd be offended to be called a liberal. But right-wing media, and I saw this on CNN even, they convinced people that that person who did that assassination in Minnesota was a friend of Tim Walz because of a small business government program for the state of Minnesota. Guaranteed Tim Walz did not know who this person was. Guaranteed. But even having to contest with that dumb conspiracy theory is painful. It's so broken that we have a system where people would believe something like that to begin with.
Is that you have people, when a soldier dies, you write a personal letter, you feel it. When something happens in America, you feel it, you show up for it. I feel like with Charlie Kirk, from what I witnessed, it's, for you, it's almost like a family member.
You know, Don said to me, he's sort of like a son to you. Charlie got involved like 11 years ago, I think. He started, you know, he's a brilliant guy, but he didn't go to college. He actually started in college. He was so bored.
New from Stephen Miller, the person running the White House, who calls Democrats domestic terrorist extremists. Okay, every single day he calls Democrats this. Talk about inciting violence.
Doxing that are trying to inspire terror us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile, because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
Yeah, and they've targeted the fundraising platforms for Democrats. When Biden talked about MAGA and election deniers, he made sure to say that this is MAGA Republicans. They are not the same as the real Republicans. We need a good Republican Party in America. We need to support differences in opinions. We need a strong Republican Party. Pelosi said this. Every Democrat said this pretty much, except like Bernie, probably, because Bernie is about that life. But like for this right now, they're calling for open violence against all Democrats, calling all Democrats terrorists and terrorist supporters and extremists and violent offenders that should be held accountable for whatever. They'll just say they tried to kill Trump. They killed Charlie Kirk. They attacked us. That rhetoric of they attacked us is meant to say, well, they attacked us. They are their team. It's a different side. They attacked our side. So we need vengeance. So any of them we attack, they want to kill us. Any of them means we're defending ourselves. And that's the justification used in every fascist regime. It's like, oh, well, they don't like us, so therefore we're allowed to do whatever we want to them. It doesn't matter what the facts are. The person who did this to Charlie Kirk is a radical right-wing force, not normal right-wing, but extremely far right-wing. So far right-wing, they probably thought Charlie Kirk was a liberal, but they blame it on the left, which is fantastic. Great.
That he left. He would have done very well in college if he wanted to, but he was brilliant. I always said, you know, can you get a degree because you're sort of used to having people like you went to college, right? But he didn't.
Someone said in chat he was LGBTQ with a gay and trans flag patches on his vest. Hey, you know that's a fake. That's a fake photo. The photo you saw is of someone else with the trans flag. I saw that photo too. It was debunked. It was that Sky person, that trans person that 4chan thought did it. That's a completely different person, by the way.
Just didn't have the patience to do it, and he started this really during what would normally be college, maybe even sooner than that, but what would normally be college, and it's become a movement. And you know, I won youth. A Republican never wins youth.
Yeah, this person the person in chat's talking about this person. So this is the killer of Charlie Kirk. This is the person they keep on saying is the killer, which is not the person whatsoever. The community notes are showing it as well. You can see the differences in these people. They're not the same person whatsoever. There's already a bunch of posts debunking this. Now 4chan thinks this is true, and Americans are kind of, you know, they believe pretty much anything they're told to believe. So hopefully they don't believe this lie, but it is fake.
But I won youth. I will tell you, TikTok helped me, but he helped me with TikTok. But he helped me with youth. I've never seen a person who's, in this case, older than the people we're talking about, in many cases, I've never seen young people or any group go to one person like they did to Charlie. Mm-hmm. He'd go out to Arizona, to any school, to Utah, where he was, but any school, also East Coast, anywhere. And he would have bigger rallies than any radical left speaker. And it was killing them because he'd have 5,000 people show up, 10,000 people show up. They'd go and they'd have 50 people, but they talk big league, right? Now, he was an unbelievable talent, but he was it wasn't really so much a talent. He just really believed it.
How dare they call Democrats extremists? Or how dare they call Charlie Kirk an extremist, guys?
Young people. He wanted to help young people, and he didn't deserve this. He was truly a good person.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's important for people to see how he died? I think it's to see the
I
horrific.
didn't watch. I didn't want to watch. I heard about it.
You don't want to watch.
I would have never made a good doctor. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I heard enough. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to remember Charlie that way. But yeah, it's horrific, is what I hear. Just horrific. I hear that nobody can. I know friends that were there, and they told.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk felt it should have been mandatory for children to be forced to watch execution videos. By the way,
they said what we witnessed, the physical emotion of being there, or watching it on television. He was somebody that I always said he was very talented, but when you love something so much, it's almost not even talent. It's that you do it well because you like it. It's a passion, and he had a passion for this. I spoke to his wife yesterday. She's like devastated. Of course. But in between the devastation, they want to keep Turning Point going. Because so many people called into me with donations.
Did you see Ben Shapiro is going to pick up the mantle?
They went, I don't know who. Do we give donations to her? Do we give it to Turning Point? Do we give it to, any one of the hundreds of colleges that he worked with or universities? And they want to keep Turning Point going. They think they can do it. He had a very good staff, I noticed. Charlie would call me up. I'm president of the United States. And I get a call like.
Call from.
Ben.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I was watching your show, and you called America a democracy, Cat. America is a constitutional republic.
With democratically elected officials, right?
It's a constitutional republic.
With democratically elected officials, right?
It is a constitutional republic.
Are you an AI bot on repeat?
No, I'm not. I'm a human.
So how do we get our elected officials who control the republic?
It is founded as a constitutional republic.
How do we currently? How is the current system? In the current system,
Democrats
how do you get elected
America
officials?
a democracy, a threat to democracy, fascism.
America's a threat to democracy.
Problem.
Wait. Okay,
no,
I can talk to you. I can
democracy.
talk to you if you're an adult. But just real quick,
I am an adult.
Wait a second. Wait. We elect our officials by voting, right? We still do that, right? Even if you don't think it's still that way.
Our country's values are constitutional.
How did we get Donald Trump as president, right? We voted for Trump as a country.
He is elected. That is correct.
Okay, so he is elected through a vote, right?
But you are still wrong, regardless.
He's elected through
America
a vote, right?
is founded.
Yeah, a republic is a
built
form of democracy. If you have voting in the system, if you have voting at all to elect officials,
America
it's a
is
form
not
of
a
democracy,
Cat. Like, you were so wrong, it's not even funny. Like,
if you vote to elect officials, it's a form of democracy. Everyone watching knows that as well. But
this leads me to my next point: a threat to democracy. Why do you think Charlie Kirk was shot? Fascism. What does the left call the right every single day? What do they call Donald Trump? A Nazi.
Donald
the Third
Trump?
Reich. Donald Trump.
Which Democrat called him a Nazi? Which Democrat called him a Nazi?
All of them.
Hakeem
Jeffries said while he's in office?
Hakeem Jeffries did not call him a Nazi. When Trump called Kamala Harris a Nazi, was that a call to violence?
Oh, I don't care if he said that or not.
So that's not a cause. Okay, so you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Okay, we know that.
No, I'm not a hypocrite, and I don't believe he's called her a Nazi.
He said Biden had Gestapo thugs, Nazi thugs. He called Kamala Harris a fascist multiple times in the campaign trail.
Gestapo. Wasn't that no, they've been calling ICE Gestapo.
No, Trump said that about Biden. Trump said that about Biden too. I'll bring up the
Democrats have been saying that ICE is a Gestapo.
Okay, I just put it on the screen. I just put it on the screen. Okay, people can watch it to see what else you're lying about.
That's
okay,
cool.
Wait,
yeah.
Trump just said far left fascist, right?
American politics.
They have said Trump's a far left, or they've said he's a fascist. They've said he's a Nazi. They've said that. What has Hakeem Jeffries said? What was his? We need to get out and fight. We
Just
need
again,
to get out in
when,
the streets and fight.
Wait,
What is Maxine Waters called
in
for?
this tape right here, Trump called Kamala Harris a Marxist, fascist, communist, socialist. Is that a call to violence?
She is a Marxist. She had a Marxist father. She was brought up.
Is she a
she had a
communist and
Marxist
is she a
professor.
fascist? Is she a fascist? You said it was violence when Democrats called Trump a fascist. Is it violence when he does it?
No, I'm saying they're calling for violence.
Answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question. So when you said it was an issue to call Trump a fascist, is it a problem when he does it to Democrats?
He called her. So you're saying that he called her a fascist?
Yeah, I showed a compilation on my stream of him calling her a fascist. Yes.
Well, that's not right. I'll agree with that. I will agree with that point.
Okay.
If he called her a fascist, that is not right. But you can also agree that everything the Democrats have said is not right either.
Everything. You can't criticize someone? You can't criticize someone?
No, I said he was wrong. I agreed with you on one point. I said,
no, I'm
he
saying you
said that
can't criticize someone in politics. If Democrats say, like, Trump is a threat to democracy when he tried overturning an election, like, they can't say that?
Well, they say it every day.
Yeah, he did try doing that.
It's a threat to democracy. That's the problem, though. They always say it's a threat to democracy. America is a constitutional republic. It is a constitutional republic. We have our rights. Our rights are given to us by God. That's how the Constitution is wrote.
Do you think immigrants have a right to due process and free speech?
No, they broke the law coming in.
Wait. I thought rights were from God. Is that not for immigrants?
When you're an American citizen.
Oh, wait. So rights are from God if you're an American citizen. So rights are from the government, in your opinion. So you just completely flip-flopped on that, right? So rights are not from God. Rights for humans are not from God. No, you just said rights from humans are not. Rights for humans are not from God. You just said that. No. That's a government. That's the government. So you think it comes from the government? Yeah. So your rights come from the government. Yes. Okay. So why would God say only American citizens get rights but immigrants don't?
Oh, I love your debate, Cat. That's awesome.
That's not a debate tactic.
Wrong. It's not even funny. Why should people? Why should somebody?
Okay, listen. So your rights are not from God. You're not a real Christian. 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 Okay, so if someone comes in America and they just cross the line and they try working here,
illegally.
So they don't have God-given rights then. So you're saying immigrants? Okay, don't yell over me. Don't yell over. You don't look good. So you're saying immigrants do not have God-given rights that we do.
They do not have a constitution.
So you're saying they do, okay? So the Constitution from the government is God-given rights, not any rights from God. So you said the government is God. You're saying the government is God. You are saying the government is God. Okay, what do you mean? Okay, don't call me a leftist. I know you feel upset, but like, what do you mean when you say rights are from God? Then, if it's not for all people, if it's not for all people,
claim the left.
If it's not for all people, no, I claim the right because I'm correct. Listen. The rights from God. You said rights are from God. You said rights are from God. Is it from God or the Constitution?
They do not have rights in America. They are invading our country.
Are rights in general from God or the Constitution?
So should Muslims be able to come over to America?
Listen. You can't answer my question. You are not being a good Christian right now. You have to run away from your faith. You have to run away from your faith because you know you're a hypocrite. Answer my question then. Are rights from God or the government? Answer my question if you're a real Christian.
American citizens have rights by God.
Okay. So only American. So God only likes American citizens. Only American citizens have God-given rights.
I love how you skew things. You
just said that. You can cry about the conversation, but you know you're wrong.
So we can have Al Qaeda come into our country per what your thought process is and take over neighborhoods and do whatever they do, and then you can pay your surreal, you know what I mean? You can
Definitely not. No, why would we want that?
Why would other foreigners have rights in our country? We do not have rights in their country.
I'm okay with you saying that you think rights are from the government and immigrants don't have those rights. Just don't pretend to be a Christian. Don't pretend like you care about God-given rights then. You care about the government rights.
We American citizens have rights.
Yeah, from the government.
Our rights are protected, and the Constitution. Oh my God!
Yeah,
you're
from the government.
Good. You skew things. Well,
no, I didn't skew anything. You're wrong. You're just a hypocrite. No, I mean you could change your opinion and say rights are from the government, but you believe in government rights. You don't believe in God rights because libertarians believe in God rights and they believe in open borders, like real libertarians. But you don't need to agree with that. You just can't say you believe rights come from God then.
Well, that's how it was written. Under the Constitution, it's founded under Christian rules or Christian beliefs. Can't argue with that, can you? But and also,
yeah, you
God
actually
says,
can.
they
You
also
can.
say in the
It was
Bible you should,
because it was against particular Christian beliefs because the king was trying to force beliefs upon our people. So we left him and made a new country. We said we're not going to have strict opinions on how you need to follow God. Maybe they had opinions. Many of them did believe in God, but they never said the Quaker beliefs of Pennsylvania, for example. They said we're not going to do strict religious states like Islamic states like you want, like because you want Saudi Arabia, I guess.
You are correct. There is a separation of God and state, but it was founded under Christian beliefs. That's
Which
what
Christian
the
beliefs? Which Christian beliefs? The Protestants, the Catholics,
Ooh, look at you,
the evangelicals.
skewing things.
That's not
Look
skewing.
at you
Okay,
going.
every time I say something you don't like, you just say I'm skewing things. I mean, I appreciate that tactic, but I don't think it works really good. I do appreciate that. I appreciate the call, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Bro, you just have a good night, buddy. Thank you for watching and dropping a like and subscribing. Interesting. $5. Jay, thank you for $5. I really appreciate it. If you want to donate to the stream, you can go to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Draw Out Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. My PayPal, you have to use the coffee link. That was a good one. I gotta make that into a little clip, right? Nice. All right, guys. Typical liberal talking over everyone. Yes. True. When he was talking over me and I said, answer my question. That was me talking over him. When I'm like, hey, answer my question. Oh, da 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 da. Give up about not democracy. What happened? The government can't demand I believe in their chosen religion? Yeah, true, yeah. And many of them were Christians, and they did, like, the whole under God stuff started more in the 1900s, too, as a bigger conversation. But you can be religious and, you know, not want authoritarianism.
Constantine, your response to that. Constantine, your response to that.
I take issue with the idea we can't criticize anybody. We cannot criticize someone if they are doing bad things in America, like trying to subvert democracy and the rule of law and trying to destroy livelihoods and target people politically. Stop calling everyone you disagree with Nazis. There's a real world out there, and your words can make people pick up guns. Like, if that were true, when Trump said he wants to point guns at Liz Cheney's face, that would have been an open call to violence that the right would have said bad things about. When Trump called Kamala a fascist, they would have said that. When Trump said Hillary Clinton should be locked up and gave no proof of any crime, they should have said that. When Trump pardoned January 6 offenders who beat the shit out of cops with metal poles and tasers and American flag poles and their own riot shields, they would have said that. They don't care. They care about them being in power. They care about virtue signaling and gaslighting until they are in power. And when they're in power, they want to dominate. And I'm sick of hearing the virtue signaling from people who don't give a shit about this society we live in, or government, or freedoms, or anything at all. They don't like this country. They want to dominate this country. They want to dominate the people here. They want power to use power in a terrible way. They don't want to build this country. They will pay more taxes and pay higher tariffs and pay higher prices and have worse jobs and have a worse country if they can beat the people up that they don't like. That's the truth of this modern conservatism. It's not conservatism. It's fascism. It's nihilism. It's not good.
Constantine, your response to that.
I have to agree with Lewis. He is living in a different reality, one that has no connection to actual reality.
But what's wrong?
What are you talking
what's
about?
incorrect about what I've just said,
You're
Constantine?
comparing somebody saying "fight like hell" in the context of a political campaign,
In the context of a
with
lie
what
where
I
you tried to
explained
overturn a
earlier.
democratic
Lewis,
election.
can I
That's the
speak now?
definition of
Are
far-right
you capable
behaviour.
of listening to an alternative point of view? Or
I'm
do you have to
incapable
shout
of
down?
listening to
Well, shut
nonsense.
up then. Shut up and listen if you're capable of it. Now, you can't compare somebody saying fight like hell in the context of a political campaign with what I explained earlier, which is when you call people Nazis.
The campaign was over.
Shut up and listen to an alternative opinion. Why is it that you people have a complete inability to listen to opinions that you don't like? Why can't you just sit there and actually hear what I'm saying?
I'm waiting.
You can't oh my God. You can't compare somebody saying fight like hell with
Why is he crying about this right now? He just said I'm waiting.
somebody explaining that the country is an imminent threat of a fascist takeover, because an imminent threat of a fascist takeover is something that would actually legitimize you picking up a rifle and heading to the front line.
Well, no. The point of the liberal argument, the reason it's much different, is because they don't use nearly as inflammatory a rhetoric whatsoever. They talk about Chuck Schumer. Meanwhile, Trump's talking about training guns at Liz Cheney's head, like directly saying he's going to use the military to go after the enemy within, his political opponents. And right-wingers never complain about that. Making fun of the assassin in Minnesota. They don't care about that. The difference is when Democrats said that, they said go and vote. All right, we can trust the electoral process. If we lose, then Trump won. We can go that direction, but we need to vote because if they win, they can do terrible things with our government. That's the argument. But the systems do work. We can create positive change. We can organize. The system is not completely lost if Trump wins, but we need to win because he will tear it apart. And it might not be recognizable. It's going to be a threat to democracy. Now, Trump says Kamala Harris is going to, number one, launch our country into a Great Depression. Number two, we're going to be at World War III. Your boyfriends and your husbands are going to be sent off to war to die. Number three, immigrants are going to be in your town killing you and your wife and your kids and your daughters. The brown immigrants are going to come to your suburbs. Trump said this explicitly. If we don't win, your entire country is going to be gone. You're not going to have a country anymore. He said that multiple times. You got to fight like hell. You got to tell Mike Pence to overturn the election, blah, blah, blah. And then Trump says, well, we should make our voice heard through elections. All right. But, elections don't actually work. They're completely rigged, whatever. So either Trump wins or they need to revolt. Trump says to them, their wives are going to be gone. Immigrants are going to invade their towns. There's going to be a Great Depression. There's going to be a world war. There's going to be a bunch of this crazy shit happening. And even if we have a democratic process to vote, Trump says that is not enough. Democrats say we can vote, we can have institutions, we can win and lose, but we can stay within the Constitution, we can create change, and we have to fight to organize, we have to fight to vote, we have to fight to do these things within the system. Trump says, screw that. I don't give a shit about voting, I don't give a shit about Congress, I don't give a shit about courts whatsoever. If we don't win, we're going to riot. That's what Trump says. Because if you tell people they are going to die and their family's going to die if they lose an election, and they legitimately lose it, then you lie about that election and the security of that election, they will riot. Like January 6th, maybe on a wider scale next time it happens. That's the difference in the calls for violence. And the pardoning of the far-right militias on January 6th that beat the shit out of cops relentlessly with their own riot shields, gouge eyeballs out, and tase them with their own tasers, and beat them with American flagpoles. Trump made one guy from January 6th who said, kill the cops on video, a member of the DOJ, one of the top law enforcement officials in America. It's not the same whatsoever. And Democrats always called to turn down the rhetoric and turn down the violent rhetoric. Trump today begged for more violence. Trump has always begged for more violence. Every time this happens, Trump begs for more violence, and he's never went back on it, ever. But somehow they can go around and say, Democrats called me a fascist. That's violence. Words are violence. After Trump called Kamala a fascist like 50,000 times in the campaign trail of a communist, fascist, socialist, Marxist, whatever. It's pure hypocrisy. It's terrible. You cannot survive in a system where one side keeps on doing this shit. It's unhinged. It's crazy. Drop a like, follow, subscribe, whatever. Comment. Nice. Okay. Wow. Interesting comments. Interesting comments. Define communism. When Trump forces an American company to have a government stake be purchased. Trump is the most communist president in American history, to be honest. He's like Joseph Stalin. With his Stalinist cult. Show the clip where Trump said he wants to point a gun at Cheney's head. Well, I wanted to find the clip of Trump like when Hunter Biden made fun of Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked. Ah, boy.
The evildoers, the left, or as Erica put it, the evildoers, the left, or as Erica put it, the evildoers, they have just ignited a total revival amongst conservatives and Christians.
Evildoers. That's a really cute thing to say after we knew the person for a whole day now. We know the person is not a left-winger in any regard. They're from a MAGA family. They're pretty far right in their beliefs. It's really cool to call people evildoers in America. All of them, they use the word they a lot. They killed one of us. They killed one of us. They want us to die. They tried killing Trump. They wanted to kill Charlie Kirk, and they did. They. Charlie Kirk beat them in debates, so they had to kill him. The liberals, they, the evildoers, the evil rats, the disgusting filth in our society. They use these words on purpose, and it's to eventually, if they want to call for it very directly, they're already directly calling for violence, but they can justify anything by using Kirk as a martyr, by using Charlie Kirk to say, well, they killed one of us. It doesn't matter that Thomas Crooks for the Trump attempt was a weird centrist, like righty from a Republican family with radical online beliefs, radicalized by the internet. It doesn't matter about those facts. They say we know nothing about Thomas Crook, by the way, because they don't want to talk about the actual facts, that he was not a liberal. Also, for this situation, it doesn't matter that we found out this person was like a Groyper type, was like a right nationalist online, a far right like Nazi who thought Charlie Kirk was too liberal for him. They don't care about that either. They just want to call their political enemies evil. So if there's ever violence from Republicans versus Democrats, they can say, well, that was payback. One of them killed us, so one of us killed them. It doesn't matter who it is. This language was used in Rwanda before the Rwandan genocide. It was used in like all these. Boy, awesome. Speaking of that language,
Fox News alert.
They are trying to silence us.
Kirk's alleged assassin
is the title here.
Finally in custody. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was turned into authorities late last night in Utah by his own father. Tyler's dad recognized his son as the person of interest.
How quickly is he going to call for murder and violence against the left? Okay, how quickly is he going to do it? Although we know this person is not from the left at all.
And when asked, he fessed up to it. Sources say Tyler actually threatened suicide, saying he'd rather kill himself, which led the dad to call up his minister, who happened to be a U.S. Marshal. Robinson later surrendered and was booked into jail. The jail, 250 miles from the crime scene. That's right, the guy made it all the way home. So how'd he do it? New video shows Robinson leaving his sniper's nest and jumping off the roof. After that, he dumped his gun in the woods and hopped in a
I saw this. I don't know how you take a fall like this,
Dodge Challenger,
what is that, 20 feet?
And drove 4 hours home.
My knees would rip.
The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, says the family did the right thing by turning their son in. Robinson's believed to have acted alone, but he left a hefty trail of evidence. Investigators found messages that he sent to his roommate.
These photos consisted of various messages stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel.
We now know more about the engravings on the shell casings. Listen.
Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this, question mark."
That's used by far-right communities to make fun of trans people. So, oh, I'm flirting with you in a chat room. We're gonna flirt. But oh no, oh, I see that you have a bulge. Yeah, that's an anti-trans thing.
Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point."
Now, after that, they had a combination of arrows. I think it was like down, 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 left, right, or something. The arrows on there were a code from Helldivers, the video game, for dropping a bomb. So that quote and those gaming controls were from a video game. This is all irony, meme culture, politics on the internet. So this person was probably in a far-right chat room, or in just like, let's not say far-right, just a radical chat room that wanted to do mass shootings. They want to cause civil wars. They want to see the world burn. They're nihilists. They see no meaning in anything, so they want to take meaning away from the world. That is their meaning. And many of these shooters right now are from chat rooms like this. But you need to give that context. And normal people are not going to understand that reference.
Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao."
Now, they said this is an anti-fascist song, which I'm sure Waters is going to repeat. This is on the Groypers War America First playlist that they kind of go off of. The Groypers War was the white nationalists online going after Charlie Kirk, basically. They were having a tour to confront Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. Nick Fuentes, the leader of the Groypers, would follow around people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk. But yeah, these songs are used ironically in these communities.
Ciao. And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay."
And also, like, that's also just that's why I don't want anyone to say this is from a political side. It's really not. It's from radical culture. It's from nihilism. It's from it's a crime against humanity and against democracies in general. It doesn't need to be political. It's largely directionless for a lot of it. But everyone's going to kind of put their own political ambitions onto it. Now, I would blame the far right more for this kind of stuff. I mean, Trump has had dinner with Nick Fuentes and given power to voices like this and encourages violence. Just today, Fox and Friends was begging Trump, hey, like, violence is bad, right? And Trump's like, oh, it's only bad when liberal, radical leftists do it. The right does violence because we have to protect ourselves. And Trump has been calling for more, so.
MAO.
Bella Ciao is an anti-Nazi song from Italy. 3 down arrows is an anti-fascist symbol that's now associated with Antifa. And
that's from a video game, Helldivers. Again, they're going to lie about that, but it's from Helldivers.
It's also a video game code for calling it a big bomb.
He did bring it up. Nice.
Hey, fascist, catch. Well, he's calling Charlie a fascist and telling him to catch a bullet. And the bulges, OWO, is sexual role-playing slang used by furry fanatics. So who is this?
But they're used ironically to mock trans people. Remember, this is all irony poison on the internet. These internet groups are crazy. So, like, they use all these terms. It doesn't necessarily mean they are that ideology. So, like, if someone's a Trump supporter their entire life, like this person was, and they supported Trump and donated to him, I think, like, over $200, they were a huge Trump supporter. Then during COVID, he drops out of college after 1 semester, and he just plays video games all the time on the internet. He probably became radicalized over COVID and fell down this rabbit hole.
Is sexual role-playing slang used by furry fanatics. So who is this guy, this Robinson guy? He comes from a normal household, raised Mormon, parents are Republican. His father's in construction, and they live in a 6-bedroom home in Utah. He grew up hunting, which explains why he was a good shot. And academically, he was a straight-A student who got a college scholarship. But he dropped out of college after 1 semester, went back to live at home, and enrolled in a trade school, looking to become an electrician.
Okay, so Waters so far has not lied about him becoming Antifa while in college. So I'm wondering what the turn is going to be here.
A family member said he wasn't political until recently, when something snapped.
The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
One of Robinson's friends spoke to The Guardian.
And that's consistent with the far-right communities online as well. Nick Fuentes hated Charlie Kirk. Laura Loomer hated Charlie Kirk with a passion. They're all wiping out their criticisms of Charlie Kirk on the internet now, but they hated Kirk. Kirk was a fake conservative to Fuentes. He was like a liberal plant that was too pro-LGBT and too pro-Jewish and too pro-Israel because they're neo-Nazis, they're anti-Semitic, and they were relentless attacking Kirk, and they probably would have said that about Kirk. Fuentes would have said that about Kirk.
And said he was really leftist, pretty left on everything, quote unquote. They said he became an extremist, started ranting and raving. Robinson apparently spent too much time online. His shell casings had internet slang, and he dressed up as memes for Halloween.
The memes he dressed up as
Robinson
were more
spent
far-right
hours and
memes,
hours alone staring at a screen. A Christian kid in a conservative household raised by a loving mom and dad in Utah, not surrounded by radical leftists, but gets radicalized into fighting fascists online.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
This is what kicking the out of fascism looks like.
Donald Trump is a fascist.
Trump is a fascist dictator.
As a fascist dictator.
Fascist chaos.
Fascist regime. Look, are they a threat?
Wow, calling someone a fascist is violence, bro.
Fascists led by Harris and her
Thank you,
group.
Fox News. Holy
We
shit.
have a fascist person
Oh
running
my goodness, Fox News.
who's
Thank
incompetent.
you.
She's a Marxist, communist,
Wow,
fascist,
a Marxist, communist,
socialist.
fascist, socialist.
She's not
Holy
actually
shit.
a socialist. She's
Wow.
gone past that. Somebody's got to explain this
Wow,
one. This is a
what's past
radical left
socialism?
Marxist,
Radical
communist,
left Marxist,
fascist.
communist, fascist, bro. Oh my goodness. Fox News. I hope you play Trump's clip.
Threat to democracy, yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
So how did America confront fascism in World War II? We went to war. And today, Democrat senators have declared war again.
We're in a war right now to save.
That was not today. That was a different day, by the way. And that was in the context of a campaign and a political movement. It was nothing about this whatsoever.
This country.
You see the games they're playing, though? They declared war. They want to make it a war.
So
I told you that.
have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Whatever is necessary to save the country? That's a call to arms.
Oh, yeah, it's a call to arms. Yeah, I'm sure Chris Murphy of Connecticut is very pro, a call to arms. Meanwhile, Trump says a man who saves his nation breaks no laws and wants to completely subvert the Constitution. But yeah, Chris Murphy and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, they are firebrands ready to overturn the American system to start a civil war. Republicans have begged for this forever, for a civil war, and they're pushing for it now. This narrative right here is unhinged.
Left is losing the battle of ideas. Violence is a last resort. They're trying to silence us.
You like how he gave all this information on the shooter. He says one friend said he was super leftist, and he goes into this bizarre rant about a civil war in America. Instantly. Provides no actual detail about this person's beliefs or upbringing. Maybe a little bit. They're a leftist, though. Yeah.
They can't lose the argument. They tried to cancel us, censure us, and
they tried to kill Trump. They tried to cancel us, censor us. They tried to kill Donald Trump.
At the extreme level, they've tried to kill us.
Yep, there you go. They tried to kill us.
Charlie.
They tried killing Trump.
Shot Scalise. They almost shot Kavanaugh.
Go down this path.
Assassinated a healthcare CEO.
Yeah, the left. Luigi Mangione was also a crazy centrist guy. He was like a Joe Rogan fan. It's just like, do you see how they're trying to walk us into a violent scenario? They are so pro-political violence, it's actually crazy as shit. No Democrats ever called for more political violence.
Rand Paul's ribs and firebomb Teslas and
the assassination in Minnesota, they'll say it was Democrats who did that.
Attacking ICE facilities. And now they're trying to wash the blood off their hands.
Me disagreeing with you, me calling you, I want to be Hitler, all those things are like not necessarily saying go out and hurt somebody.
They called Trump Hitler, and then Ryan Ruth says Trump's Hitler and tries to shoot him. They don't see a connection? They call Charlie fascist, and then someone shoots Charlie with an anti-fascist bullet? They know exactly what they're doing.
The person who tried to shoot Trump was not a leftist. They were a radicalized lunatic from the internet. That's why the Republicans always say, oh, we know nothing about this person. It's because they don't want to talk about him. The person who killed the Minnesota politicians, the assassin, was a MAGA supporter. His roommate said he'd be offended to be called a liberal. But again, they want to see people die. Yeah.
Giving the crazy wing of their party permission to take a shot. They're brainwashing an online army. The message is these men are
most popular show on news, by the way, on cable news. Most popular show in America.
Dangerous fascists. Be a hero. Take them out. They can't win at the ballot box, so they're using bullets. Charlie said it just a few months ago. Assassination culture is spreading on the left. 55% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to kill Trump. Colbert's audience was just cheering about Trump dying. Tim Wald said he was secretly hoping that he woke up to the news of the president's passing.
Trump himself cheered when Biden had prostate cancer, dude.
They're on a war footing. Charlie was killed in cold blood, and a sick faction of the left are reveling in it.
Do you support his death? I do. You support his death?
Random guy on the street, random cringe influencers. Yeah, let's talk to them.
You support
they
Charlie
represent
Kirk being
the entire
killed?
world.
Yes, I do. On the
guy
day
with
he
bucket
died,
hat
you're at a
on
vigil.
and the Drake
for
beard.
Charlie Kirk, and you support his death.
You support a Nazi?
No, I don't
There's
support
only two liberals in America, guys. There's only two people on the left, and these are the two people. These are the two leftists in America, and they all showed up to this one event.
Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi. You support his shooter?
Yep, sure do. Free him.
You support
This one
Charlie Kirk's
person's the
shooter?
entire left.
He does.
The president of the United States of America called for more political violence today and justified it and said elections don't work. So what else are we going to do? We need to stay safe. Now, their example of someone calling for violence or celebrating this is some random ass dude who again looks like white Drake, you know, like Drake the rapper, with a bucket hat on, trying to get clout on a dumbass social media page. This is their example, you know, a faction
Would
of
you
the left.
shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
We need to politically destroy that culture. That whole movement should be
At least he said politically. He said politically, at least.
The way Charlie would want it to be. On election day, in the marketplace, in the media, at university.
Okay, is he gonna say that doesn't work? Is he gonna say we have to politically crush them, but that doesn't work?
Wherever it shows its ugly face.
Because Trump said it doesn't work.
This anti-fascist political strain must be defeated. The militaristic mindset eradicated, and anyone profiting off of any of that in the public square should be expelled from polite society. You cannot accuse someone of hate speech to justify murder. Hate speech is just speech that liberals disagree with. America should be like the Five and agree to disagree. Violent attacks on free speech are attacks on the founding of America.
Did Waters get yelled at to walk back the rhetoric? Because I'm surprised he said politically.
And this vile movement is treasonous. Celebrating political assassinations should get you ostracized. Dowd was fired from MSNBC for saying Charlie deserved to die. And so were dozens of Americans.
Wait, he did not say Charlie deserved to die.
Just in the last 48 hours.
What the
who
hell?
Worked at schools.
Bro, that shit is crazy. You can just lie. You can just lie, bro. You can just lie.
And in government, even in the NFL. This isn't cancel culture. This is society healing and getting rid of a cancer.
That's so dope, bro. If someone says I don't like Charlie Kirk on their social media, they can be banned from polite society now. People are getting cut from their jobs if they say they don't like Charlie Kirk on social media. Okay.
And we love every American and forgive people who've lost their way. But we're not going to give them any quarter, not an inch. Charlie died for the First Amendment. He died on the battlefield of ideas, just like the colonists in the Revolutionary War. And if we don't defend free speech, America's defenseless and dies. We can win this battle without shedding any more blood. A great example of how to handle this, look at Utah.
I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last two nights.
I'm just saying, they got a call from someone to tone back the rhetoric. Fox News definitely got yelled at from someone. I don't know who, but they need to tone back the rhetoric, and they're doing it a little bit. So I'm happy to see that they're walking off the complete war, but they need to because it's a 22-year-old white kid from Utah, and they don't want anyone to look any closer. Dude, if this was a trans person or black or brown or whatever, bro, this shit would be going ballistic. But there's been such a mood shift because the demographics don't fit their racist propaganda and whatever else, whatever other ism, whatever. I don't give a shit about the words, but they're bullshit, discriminatory bullshit. God, dude, we're lucky it's not someone who again, it's not someone who's a minority group they can attack.
There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this.
Could you imagine if a MAGA sniper shot Biden in the head, or shot a congressman at a baseball game, or assaulted a famous liberal media personality?
We had a MAGA supporter assassinate Democrats in Minnesota a few months ago, and no one cared at all. The media didn't even talk about it, even liberal media, because Democrats suck at advocating for themselves. We have Hakeem Jeffries leading the party, which is terrible. But like, we know what this looks like. Trump said one thing on social media. They said, "Hey, Trump, do you want to call to see if everyone's okay?" He said that's a waste of time. Literal like Republican senators in our national Congress made fun of this situation, lied about the person who did it being a Marxist, said they were friends with Tim Walz, and never even retracted the damn statement. Nightmare on Wall Street was their joke. Like, the idea that there's not a contrast here, there's no like way to compare this whatsoever, is insane. Like, when pipe bombs got mailed to Obama and Clinton in 2018, they laughed at it. When Paul Pelosi almost got killed by a crazy guy with a hammer who wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi, they laughed at it. They still make jokes about it. Trump made jokes about it a couple days before Charlie Kirk died. Charlie Kirk made fun of it as well. You can't like make fun of some political violence when you don't like it, or make fun of political violence when you like it, and say it's bad when you don't like it. It's the highest form of hypocrisy in the world. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And again, this person was not a leftist. And calling any of these people leftist or right wing or whatever, it needs to be very ideological for that to make sense. Like, the Unabomber was not pro-Democrat or pro-Republican. He was a terrorist. He was a crazy guy who wanted to see society burn. You would never say, nowadays they would say the Unabomber was a Democrat, right? But he was against every political party. He was against all of society. He was against all of humanity. But they'll take any opportunity to use it against their political enemies. It doesn't matter what it is. It's crazy. Wild, bro. Wild rhetoric. Please drop a like. Repost my content. Subscribe. Comment.
There'd be martial law. We'd have our rights stripped, our guns seized. Cities would burn, and America First would be behind bars. But you don't respond to an attack.
America First would be behind bars.
On freedom by taking freedom away. All of us.
Okay, again, he's moderating the language. He's talking people down a little bit. Oh, boy.
On freedom by taking freedom away.
Again, I cannot stress how much different this would sound if this was not a white kid from Utah, from a conservative family. Dude, I can't even begin to explain how different this segment would be. Holy crap.
All of us should speak our minds louder, without fear.
What do you say to people who are saying they see the assassination attempts in your life, they see the Minnesota lawmakers, they see what happened, they see what happened to Charlie?
I say you have to go forward. You just have to go forward.
Conservatives can't be afraid to go on a college campus and exercise their First Amendment right. They just can't. We can't be afraid to say men and women are different, that we believe in sovereign borders, that...
You know how people say Barack Obama began racism? Obama's the reason people are racist, bro. And we had the Christ church shooting, and Obama had to respond to black people being gunned down in a black church with grace and making sure that America can come together. Like, we have these things happen, and these horrible racist people will literally just like slaughter black people. And Barack Obama at the time needs to just accept it and say, we need to come together as a country. But now... and that person was motivated by racist hate. And this person is from a right-wing background. He was radicalized on the internet. It's terrible. But, like, the way they talk about shit is crazy. Calling Obama the reason for racism is such a crazy thing they repeat, and they think it's normal to repeat that over and over and over and over and over again. And we never really held these people accountable because they were quiet. They were quiet about their hatred for these minority groups for a while. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how you beat this hypocrisy unless the people realize how bad it is. And we need to like get enough people to give pressure to, I don't know. Or the other shooting, not the Christchurch. 1 second. There's not the Christchurch one. It's the other one. The Charlestown Church. Yeah.
Fighting racist and fighting crime isn't racist. And we have to go where Charlie went, everywhere, and talk to everyone, no matter where they're from and what they look like and what they believe. We have to force them to listen.
Was that Dylan Roof? Was that the one with Dylan Roof? I think it was. Yeah. That Dylan Roof was crazy. 21-year-old white supremacist entered the church, joined a Bible study group. They welcomed Roof, handed him a Bible and a study sheet for the next 45 minutes. Roof worshiped with them. They stood and shut their eyes for a closing prayer. Oh my God, dude. They closed their eyes for a prayer and he just started shooting. 74 rounds. Oh boy. If that happened today, oh God. If that happened today, they would say it's a liberal. They would 100% say it's a liberal that did it, or blame Obama for causing racism. Like, alrighty, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I appreciate you guys watching. Our viewership numbers are pretty low tonight. So we'll start up again tomorrow. Gonna try to get some rest. I think I put a good hour in. Yeah, a good hour 20. Appreciate you guys watching. One victim was a state representative. Yeah, they called Obama racist for going to Trayvon Martin's funeral. Yeah. Or Trayvon, I mean, not Trayvon. Obama said black people are people, and they're like, and when people say like, oh well, this person tried, yeah, I don't know. Appreciate it. I don't know if anyone donated. I didn't check my apps. Oh, Sri, thank you for $5. Thank you for $5, Sri. Sri, $5. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sri. I just saw that now. Farewell. You farewell. Remember when things were simple and Amy Klobuchar was like, how would your hair fare in a blizzard? That was a good time. You know, that was a good time back in the day. It really was. I miss those days, dude. I miss those days. Sorry, Delta. My brain's a little fried tonight. Definitely call in tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow night. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, if my viewership's only at 100, I mean, usually I stay on longer if it's like 300, 400, or if we have a good topic to talk about, but this is really draining. But yeah, follow my TikTok. My TikTok's been going a little bit crazy. It's been going pretty good on TikTok. So check me out there. In a blizzard. Yeah. Okay, well. Y'all have a good night. You disagree heavily? Oh, that's okay if you can disagree. Why can't we appreciate each other for our differences? You don't believe in Charlie Kirk or Jesus?
You're one of us. You're just like us.
You gave $5? What happened? Jay gave $5 earlier. Oh, 3-cent happy poop. Who gave $5? You didn't give $5. Or Jay gave $5. Yeah, Jay did. Thank you, Jay, again. I saw Jay earlier. I said hi to Jay. I said thank you to Jay. I saw a bunch of prominent Trump supporters saying like, well, Charlie Kirk believed in open debate. He never would have wanted us to be violent, but he's like, I don't care what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. I'm like, cool, nice. Well, why did you talk about him then? But they love the narrative where it's like, Charlie Kirk was the friendly way to do this. Now we're getting the war. It's like, bro, please take your medicine, dude. Holy shit. Please don't do this, dude. We could be chill. We could have a good time together. We could be friends. Please stop. Please. Okay, guys. Have a good night. Peace. Join Discord. Appreciate it. I prefer Discord if people call in too. If you have Discord, just join that. It's easier. You can just let me know if you're in there, or someone can let me know. Peace, 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 peace. A lot of the regulars haven't been here as much, but I'm pretty inconsistent, so it's hard to know when I'm gonna be actually streaming. All right, gosh, have a good night. Thank you, 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 thank you. Trying to guilt you? Oh, yeah. All right. Peace, peace, peace.